The story of the Canaanites seems to begin with the Israelites' arrival. But what if it began thousands of years before that, in the book of Genesis? The Bible tells us in Genesis 6 that the sons of God came down and took human women as their wives, and their offspring were the Nephilim, the mighty men of old. The flood was meant to destroy this corruption and all its offspring. But what if some of them survived? What if the Canaanites were not just a people, but a direct link to the corruption of the pre-flood world? This would change everything. The conquest of Canaan would no longer be just a military campaign. It would be the final act of cosmic cleansing, with fulfillment of the flood as an finished work. The giants of Canaan were a tangible sign of this ancient spiritual battle. They were a visible sign of a world in full rebellion against God. The Israelites were not just fighting a people. They were fighting a spiritual legacy of evil that had been handed down from generation to generation. This explains why the fear of the giants was so profound. It wasn't just a fear of losing a battle. It was a fear of confronting an ancient, spiritual enemy. But there is a more important layer to this story. The conquest of Canaan was not about a territorial dispute. It was about the holiness of the land. God had promised this land to his people. But before they could possess it, it had to be cleansed of the spiritual corruption that had infected it. The battle against the Canaanites was a spiritual surgery, a profound and necessary act of divine intervention to restore the land to its original purpose. It was a battle for the very soul of the earth. The story of the Canaanites is a powerful lesson for us today. The enemies we face in our lives are not just physical problems. They are spiritual strongholds. They are echoes of a darkness that wants to keep us from entering into our promised land. But just like the Israelites, we can have a faith that says, we will go and possess the land. We can trust that the God who is with us is greater than any giant we may face.